Hi guys, this is Wen. I just finished my grading on your flips quiz, and it turned out that some people have done it really well, and some people didn't. Okay, and I think there is a necessity for me to going over slowly one more time with you, but we're almost running out of time, so I probably will not be able to go over this particular assignment in class. Therefore, I'm making this short video for everybody so that you can study on your own pace. I'm going to asking you guys to redo it one more time to submit it next Monday. You need to take time with this particular assignment over this week, and you must submit a full completed version after study this assignment in its entirety. Okay, so let me jump right into the assignment. The entire assignment has four tables only. Table 1 and table 2 and table 3, table 4. Okay, I'm going to be doing it one by one here. The first table here is about car loan analysis. You are required to write down some prerequisite information such as principal, which is the loan, and annual rate, and number of years you're on this loan. And the first requirement is to calculate the monthly payment. Okay, so this is a loan basically require you to pay in a monthly basis. Therefore, you need to calculate your monthly payment. So this very first calculation is going to be a very critical step for rest of the steps. Okay, if you fail on this particular one, and there's no way for you to complete this in a quality manner. Okay, so let's help you to calculate monthly payment first. So calculating payment, we are going to use PMT function. I've shared this function with you many times, and I'm doing it again. The first argument is your periodic rate. In our case, the interest rate provided is the annual interest rate. Therefore, we need to divide this with 12 so that this will be divided into monthly interest rate. Why monthly rate? Because our loan is required us to pay back in a monthly basis. Therefore, required period for us is actually month. Okay, and the second argument is about the term. It's a number of payments this loan is required to be paid off. So this is going to be number of year times 12. Okay, so the 60 month here is actually the number of months we're required to pay off this loan. The third argument is actually your principal, your loan amount you owe from your lender. So this will get you, okay, this will get you your monthly payment amount. Okay, and you have noticed that this has displayed in red color. What does that mean? Red color means this is a negative number. Okay, for the convenience of future calculation, we need to turn it into positive number. Okay, so why it will display this monthly payment in red color at first place? Because payment is something you'll be taking out of your pocket. Therefore, it'll be considered as a spending. Okay, from your side. Therefore, this is a negative number. So there are many different ways you can convert it into a positive number. The most simple way to do it is putting a negative symbol in front of PMT function. I have put a negative symbol in front of entire function. Thus, this will turn into a positive number. Okay, so your payment here, 527.19 cents per month, is going to be your monthly payment amount. Okay, check. So next one is to calculate your beginning balance. Of course, the beginning balance at the first year is going to be your initial loan amount. So there's no need for you to do calculation for your B6 cell. Okay, you just need to reference your initial loan amount here in this manner. Okay, and what's your ending balance after 1 year? Okay, so at this point, after I explained many times, I'm going to be explaining one more time. Okay, if you have trouble understanding this concept of getting ending balance, you just memorize your function for future tests and assessments. Okay, so we are going to calculate the ending balance here. So ending balance, we're going to use PV function because it's going to return us another negative number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a negative symbol here, okay, PV. So first argument is your annual percentage. So again, divided by 12. So here, second argument is number of payments remaining, okay? So how many payments left after after first year? So of course, 4 years. Everybody knows that. But how do you convert it into mathematics sense? So it's going to be your year minus past year, okay, times 12. I'm sorry, times 12. Okay, so it's fairly simple to understand. After year 1, you have 4 years left to pay off your loan, okay, because each year has 12 months. We have multiplied remaining year by 12, okay. The third argument here is going to be your monthly payment amount. So we are using this to calculate ending balance at the end of first year. I'm sorry guys, I know this is very complicated, but we have to use PV functions to calculate it, to calculate our ending balance, because the way banks calculate their loan, their mortgage is so complicated. Okay, so it's trust me, using PV is way much more convenient than using some other form to calculate your ending balance for the first year. Okay, so the reason why we have to use PV function is that in mortgage scenario, the amount of money you pay to your principal part is different by month. Okay, so therefore there's no way for you to calculate it in a more simpler way. So PV is the most simple form we can use here. Okay, so this will get you the ending balance for after first year. Okay, so let's go to the total paid. So total paid here is very simple. I have provided the formula on your instruction paper. So total paid is going to be your monthly payment times 12, because you have paid 12 times in the first year. Okay, so your interest is going to be, amount of interest you paid is going to be total amount you paid to your lender, okay, minus the difference between beginning balance and ending balance. Okay, so B6 and C6, the difference here represent amount of money you paid off, your loan. Okay, and D6 is total amount of money we pay to our lender. Therefore, you get the difference between these two. This is going to be amount of money you paid to clear your interest, which is the cost of borrowing money. Okay, so here it will return interest here. And what is the beginning balance for the second year? I can't actually drag it from this moment. Okay, these 3 cells will work. Okay, but I can't really drag the first cell here. The reason being, you know, the way we calculate the beginning balance for the second year is different. Okay, so we have referenced the principal in the beginning. We have to reference the ending balance of the first year as the beginning balance of the second year. Okay, so this will work. You drag it. Okay, and I'm going to convert everything into let's see, just a regular number format. Okay, but I'm going to put a thousands separation comma here. Okay, and this is going to be this is near full of your near completed state of your first table. There's one more thing left, which is the total. Okay, what's the total amount of money you paid to your lender in the first year? Almost nobody made a mistake here. You're going to be using summation functions to get everything summed up. Okay, so the same way applies to calculate interest you paid in over the 5 years of span. Okay, so these two, I'm going to using a total style here. Okay, I'm going to apply this double line style so that it looks obvious as a total. Okay, some of you might notice, you probably have noticed that this Excel looks a little different because I'm working from my home now. So I don't have a PC at home, so I'm just working from my Mac OS, the Apple computer. But the Excel, although it looks a little different, but most of the things are the same. You won't have any trouble making comparison with your Windows PC. Okay, now we're jumping to the second table here. So the second table here is actually require us to calculate, to observe the effect of various interest rate. So this is going to be our data table 2 example. This is going to be exactly the same with what we have done in the class. Okay, so I've seen some people have calculated manually, row by row. That would work, but if you completed that way, I still put it as a row because you're not completed in a way that is required. Okay, so you have to use let me get rid of these two. You have to use data table 2 to complete this. Okay, it only needs a couple of clicks if you're using data tool. Okay, data table tool. So before we get started, so the first row in entire data table tool is really important. I don't know if you recall what I said during the class time. So this is going to be our entire range. This is going to be our crucial, very vital first row. Okay, this will provide you the basis for the calculation. Okay, and this is going to be the reference values. So what I'm going to do is you're going to calculate every row. Okay, as you try to calculate every row, okay, data table tool is going to replace these values each time within the formula you have provided in this first row. What does that mean? Let me show you in its entirety first, and then I'm going to explain one more time what it really means. Okay, so here I'm going to reference this formula here. Okay, although you see that this is a number, these are numbers, but you probably already know this is actually a formula. This is my formula mode. Okay, as you can see, I've written formula here to get the summation for this range, data in this range. So since basically a total paid is going to be, since you have calculated total paid using formula written within the cell, all we need to do is just to reference this particular cell to borrow the formula from this position. It's going to be the same with the total interest here. Okay, just click it. So although I didn't write any formula here, since you have referenced the cell that contains the formula, okay, therefore it's going to have the same effect that you put formula here. This is going to be our range before we do the data table tool, and make sure your selection including both basis for the calculation, which is formula, also the reference values here. Okay, and we go to data. It's going to be the same place in your Excel. Go to data table. Go to data table. Whoops. Okay. And you need to define the column input cell, okay, as B3. Okay, let me explain what this means. Okay, if you understand, of course, you can skip it, but you're telling Excel that as Excel calculates the result for each row, okay, you are going to be replacing B3. Okay, the B3 has been used to calculate total paid, total interest paid up here. Okay, because interest rate has been combined within the payment formula, and payment formula has been applied to calculate your ending balance, and your ending balance has been used to calculate your total paid as well as the interest. Okay, you see the connection is kind of long: rate, payment, payment to ending balance to total paid. You see the connection is kind of long, but rate has actually been used here. Okay, so when you use data table 2 to calculate each row, please use these values to replace the rate here. Okay, and then show us what is the result of calculation. Okay, and click OK. It's going to help you fill everything instantly. Okay, it's going to have the same effect. You change this value to, let's say, 4. Okay, as you can see, now we have exactly the same result, these two places. Okay, and we can put 6.0 here. Okay, the 6.0 has the same value. I don't know if you can see what's going on here. So this is basically what data table 2 can do for us. You can do it manually forever, or you can use data table 2 to complete it instantly. So we can kind of observe what happens when we increase the interest by 2% each time. Okay, so the changes in total paid and changes in total interest, that's what it is. Okay, so if you notice, so one more thing left. If you notice that the interest rate in the instruction paper, it actually has 4 zeros. I did it intentionally so that I can examine your ability to use this function here, increase decimal. Okay, you have to increase decimal by 4. This is completed version of the second table. Okay, now we skip to third table, relationship between years and rate. We have calculated different amount of total paid and total interest by applying different interest rate in table 2. We kind of feed in different okay, we kind of manipulated values for one variable. Okay, but this scenario we are trying to replacing the value of two variables each time. So here the first row is different than your first row here. Okay, so in your in one variable scenario, you kind of used only one column as your reference value, and your first row it's actually served as a basis for calculation. Let me write it down. Okay, but in two scenario situation, we kind of need both row and column to put down our reference value. Okay, so this first row and first column kind of serves the purpose of the first column here in example above. And then where do you put your basis for calculation this time? As you can see, if you select like this, okay, this cell remains empty. So this is going to be your basis for calculation. What you do here, since we're calculating the relationship between years and rate, we're trying to observe what happens when not only interest rate increases, we also want to learn as interest increases, also increases happen to the number of years you pay off the loan. We're trying to observe what happens as two variables changes to the monthly payment. Okay, so you just need to reference D4 cell. Okay, in my case, since I have named it already, it becomes payment. Okay, so it's basically the same. You can put down D4 here, or you can put down payment like I did. I think naming these cells is actually the part of requirement. Okay, so actually you have to you actually have to name it. You actually have to name D4 cell as payment, so that you can use here payment. Okay, named range appears. So this is going to be what happened here. Let me see. Payment. Okay, now it's working. So again, you select these two. Select again these two. Now Excel is going to calculate cell by cell. Okay, cell by cell. In this case, this was simpler because you have only one variable to replace each time. It kind of calculate row by row, but this time it's going to calculate cell by cell by using these two values to replace existing values in two variables. We go to data table tool, okay, what if analysis, data table, and row input cell, we are going to specify what is going to be our row input cell. As you can see, row input cell here is actually our percentage, okay, our rate. So scroll up, pick rate here, and column input cell, of course, is going to be the number of years, okay? So as you can see, row input cell has a percentage, column input cell has our has a number of years required to pay off your payments. So with this setup, click OK. It's going to help you calculate the monthly payment amount each time. So let's go back and do a simple modification. It's going to display perfectly that what is the monthly payment amount is going to be like. So let me highlight in yellow. Okay, let me highlight it yellow. So yellow basically provides the basis for calculation. Okay, no matter how many different variables you're using. And let me go ahead and highlight these two. Okay, areas. So the blue area basically supplies different values each time as Excel trying to use formula contained within the first row or first cell to calculate these values. Okay, these values. Okay, now good. So one thing left is actually the force table. Okay, I intentionally introduced a new function which is called future value. I think I gave you a hint in earlier in the classroom that I'm going to be introducing a new formula so that I can assess your ability to utilizing a new formula in Excel. So that is actually going to be the question here. So here the force table, many people ask me what that means. Okay, so basically this is actually this is actually comparing what happens instead of spending money for 5 years to purchase a car. Okay, what happens when I try to keep saving all these spendings? What happens to the final saving amount? So instead of spending money, what happens if I save those money to the bank? How much money will I be getting eventually? So that's what it is about. Okay, so basically here 5 years. I'm keep saving 5 years. The bank is I don't know, some kind of investment product you have purchased from your bank yields about 3%. This is actually a very good return on investment. Okay, but this is hypothetical scenario, so I'm just put 3.0 here. And what is your monthly saving amount? Basically, it's going to be the same with the amount of money you'll be spending to buy your car, right? So I'm just gonna put payment here. So instead of spending this amount of money each month to pay off your car loan, okay, what if you save this amount of money to your bank? What is going to be total amount of money? To calculate that, okay, this is a rather complicated calculation because we call it as compound interest on annuity. Okay, so not only money you saved in the first month will yield you a interest. Okay, as you calculate interest for the second month, you have to put into consideration for the interest accrued in the first year, in addition to the 2 months saving amount. Okay, you keep doing it for rest of the month, rest of the I don't know, maybe 58th month. The calculation is going to kill you unless you use a formula like future value. Okay, future value. So the first argument is going to be the rate. Okay, let me divide that by 12 again. Number of payment times by 12 again, multiply by 12. So this will tell you periodic interest rate. This will tell you number of months you have, and the PMT you specify amount of monthly saving. And again, do not forget to put a negative symbol in front of FV. This is going to return you this amount of money. Okay, this amount of money. Let me correct the font size, font type, regular. Okay, now you compare your saving after 5 years, and your your total is actually this. Okay, you see the summation amount. This is total paid. I'm sorry, this is total paid. I'm sorry, this is total amount of money you paid over the last 5 years. This is $28,031. But if you compare what happens when you save this money, this will in fact return you a greater amount of money, which is $30,000. Okay, so this concludes our assessments. Okay, this concludes our assessments. Block 1, assess your ability to utilize PMT function as well as PV function. And block 2 and 3, assess your ability to utilize table 2, data table 2 to calculate different amount each time. And last table is going to assess your ability to utilize new formula to conduct calculation. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow in class. I'm sorry, it looks like I forgot one more thing here, which is conditional formatting. Okay, so conditional formatting is change the format of particular cell or a range based on whether the cell or range is meeting certain criteria or not. Okay, it's useful. It's useful because we can use that to highlight certain cell. Okay, we can automatically when certain criteria meets. Okay, so for example, let me go back and change to 4.0. Okay, I'm trying to highlight whatever percentage that's equal to the percentage listed here. Okay, so why is it important? It is important because if it highlights automatically, if you try to play around from here, like for 6.0, the conditional formatting is going to help you to change highlighting automatically to 6.0. That's going to be very convenient functions to have. Okay, before do so, you need to select the range that the conditional formatting is going to be applied to. Okay, so it's fairly simple. You're just selecting from B15 to B21. Okay, so go here, conditional formatting, create a new rule. Okay, create a new rule. Look it up from here. Okay. Let's select classic here. Okay, let's select classic here. Then here is a format only cell that contains cell value equal to, okay, cell value equal to this. Okay, you see, as soon as you click OK, this value became highlighted automatically. What if you change it to 2.0? As expected, it's going to point it to 2.0 cell. Okay. Of course, what happens if you write a value that nothing matches here? Of course, it won't highlight anything. Okay. So just put 4.0 here. That's going to be the conditional formatting. Let's go here. There's a second requirement. This time, the requirement says that highlight lowest 4 values among all these values that's been calculated from the data table 2. So using this function again, okay, this time you can choose this one, top bottom rules. Okay, so more rules. You're going to say format only top or bottom ranked values. I'm going to say bottom 4 item. You don't want to click percent. It's going to be item. Okay, you click OK. That lowest 4 values have been highlighted automatically. Okay. Okay. This is a short makeup.